Welcome to Manila, the capital city of the Philippines and home to the inaugural RCGP event.
Good morning and welcome to the Circular Verde racetrack here in Manila in the Philippines. We're here for round 2 of RCGP World Series. It really is the creme de la creme of RC racing, Nick.
Yep, we've got 1/8 Nitro off-road cars, the most spectacular, the most gnarly, the most aggressive racers. Wow, and if round one's anything you go by, today is going to be spectacular.
It really is, because round 1 was mind-blowing. Let's take a look.
Two of them are divided by now, and he doesn't know, he got inside! Ongaro takes it on the side! Runafout rolls, oh no, McBride, half landed, a mistake by Runafout. McBride though making hay now with a 3.14 thing. Oh, he's gone out! Wow, that was a save and a half. Looped it around, landed it, kept going. He's gone wide, he gets it, and McBride gets it!
So we're freaking panicking, but I got out there.
I might have a shot still.
I think if you win it, you've got a very good chance of getting on pole. The plan almost worked, but you missed it by 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, I knew it was close.
Our first pole man for RCGP, you managed it by 0.8 of a second. Right where we got, oh, and there's a bad save. Oh, and now Runabout takes the lead. Mentioning the Ongaro is not showing a lot of pace at this point. Whether he needs his tyres to come in, I don't know. Oh, at the inside, I think Ogden's going to get great. Ogden, brilliant overtake for second. Ogden just got the drive and powered through. Now Ongaro may, oh, yeah, wasn't making those mistakes. May, and he's going to lose. He's lost it again. It's that mistake. Both in. Ongaro, Ogden stop together. Fuel, drop down. Oh, much shorter. Ongaro gained probably second in the fuel, but no, he's got. Then Ongaro gets mixed up with Misha Widmeyer. Oh, and Cole makes a mistake. Oh, Runafout makes a mistake, and it's going to be. Oh, and this is going to be so close now. Runafout has gone and lost a load of time. Runafout exits the second double now. Ongaro, who with on the now, is coming closer. He's coming closer. He's coming closer. He just found so much pace since the stop. This is absolutely 100% racing Ongaro. He's effectively sliding the car around every corner. He's burning it through. He is driving it like he stole it. And look how close he's got to Runafout. But Runafout realistically just needs to keep it on the island. Can he do it? They come over. There's a massive flyer. He flies it. Ongaro flies it. Turns around, goes on, and they Runafout gets it. Other fuel top. Wow. How fast were you?
I think now the car was really good. He came fast towards the end, but you know, it doesn't matter how you win, right? You just gotta finish first.
Oh, and Runafout's made a mistake, and Runafout's taking himself out. This is a big one. Struggling. Oh, really struggling now is Runafout. Runafout is having a nightmare, and unless he does the best second half of the race ever, it doesn't really matter what time Ongaro does, he's going to win it anyway. Ongaro wins it, and he wins it in 15:10. David, was it a frustrating day? Always just those thousandths of a second behind, Davide?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you always want to win, right? That's why I came here. But you know, Davide drove great all day, and we've been tied all the time so far, and I've lost on it. So tomorrow is my time to shine.
I had my car hooked up pretty good. I was happy with it, and I could drive it, you know, the same pace every lap. And I made a couple tweaks on it throughout the day, made tire changes, but overall I'm satisfied. Everything worked great, you know, so I'm happy.
So Davide, finally you are the winner of the first round. Does that mean it's a huge party tonight, you know, champagne, girls, or are you just early to bed for the next round?
Go to bed for next round.
Well, that was yesterday, and today, the morning after the night before, our teams look to an even more gruelling day, with the climax of a 120-lap final edging nearer. Some teams hope to capitalise on yesterday's strong start, and some prefer to forget yesterday and move on.
Broke the engine on the straight. I don't know why it's broke.
I had a couple little rough stints right there in the quals with a couple guys.
I'm feeling great. Today is my time to shine for sure.
probably was not driving super good yesterday.
The moment just tried to fight for the 3 spot.
For my result for this weekend was not best for sure.
Yeah, I keep getting hit, which is nice.
I fell off the edge. That was just a dumb mistake by me.
He said all kinds of stuff about me.
I wasn't very happy with his attitude in practice, you know.
Hope that will be better than yesterday in the finals.
It's too hard, too hot, and maybe some cars broke, maybe.
Well, around 15 minutes until the round 2 final gets underway. But before we get into qualifying, it's time for the first in a series we're running over the season, looking below the surface of just what's going on during an RC race. So first, let's find out from the masters some of the secrets of control.
I just drive with the sticks always, so now I'm like this. Especially like on the track like this, because there are a lot of different parts of the track. Yeah. So you have to control especially the steering, especially when like wind like now. Yeah. When you jump and cars makes like this, you have to brake to go down. Like this when you push the throttle, and like this when you brake.
Okay. It's complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
David, you're getting a bit of a reputation. What do they call it? Ronafalque Airlines. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, something like that. I think it came up when I made a nice pass on Ty Tessman in the semi-final. I think it was at the Neo. I made a nice pass, flew of his car over the finish line and barely got it, but it was a couple of thousandths. But I didn't even touch him. I just flew right over him. So I think that's when it started. And then obviously here I had a happening here in one of the qualifiers yesterday. So.
Okay, let's take a look at that first. Okay, we're looking at that now. How much of that, I'll be honest, is that just luck or is that skill?
I mean, I saw it was coming because I hit the wrong line coming up to the ramp of the triple, so I knew I was going to touch the pipe. So I was ready to try to save it. I mean, obviously, it was a bit of luck involved. I say to everyone it was on purpose, but maybe it's not the case all the time. But, I know what to do in the air, but sometimes it might get a little crazy. So, yeah, I guess I was a little lucky there to land on the 4 wheels.
Okay, so there are some things that a common RC enthusiast or somebody just starting out might not realize you can actually do in the air. So what is it that you can do to control the angle and the buggy when it's not even on the ground?
Yeah, in the air, I get a lot of questions regarding that. And basically, so when you hit the brakes in the air, the car will drop with the nose. The nose will dive. And if you give the throttle, the nose will be, will pick it up again, will be nose high. Then the more advanced stuff that you've seen in the last, I would say, 10 years or so. I think in the past it wasn't as common, but now like almost every pro is doing it. And it's not like we're thinking about doing it, it just comes automatically when you're in the air. So it's like turning either left or right in the air. You can kind of adjust the roll of the car, I would say. And you can also, sometimes you can even line it up for the next corner that you're gonna take after the landing. So basically if you turn the wheel to the right, the car will lean like to the left. So it's basically the same as you go into a corner if you're on a go-kart track, whatever. When you have a left turn, you will like kind of lean to the right. So that's what happens in the air as well. So
you're turning the steering wheel the wrong way to go to what actually you want.
Exactly. So it's not like you only can do it with the steering, you have to control the throttle as well, because only doing the steering, it won't change anything, because it's when you give the throttle, the gyro effect starts to happen. So that's when the car will lean over. But yeah, it's a lot of practice, I would say. Yeah.
And why would you adjust the angle of the buggy using the brake or the throttle when it's flying? What's that doing?
I think it's always easier if you can jump a little bit like with the nose down. Always easy control with the air coming onto the body instead of having it nose up, because then you're gonna be an airplane up there in the air. So it's kind of hard to know how the car is gonna react when it lands. So my preference is that I always want to be nose down in the jumps, I kind of feel like I scrub a bit of speed like that as well. So
What does that term mean? Because they use it in motocross as well, don't they? What is scrubbing speed? What does that mean?
yeah, so you know, you have a jump section, right? But there's I mean, you can make a lot of time up in those sections as well. If you see, you know, a regular driver, he makes the jump. Yeah, he clears the jump, no problem. But there's a way to jump fast. So I guess from the motocross, they call it a scrub. What I do and what I think everyone is, you know, thinking when we call it RC car scrubbing is when you have example for like a double section in the front of the driver's stand here. You can kind of jump towards, like, into the face of the second double, and that kind of scrubs the speed off the car just to pop over that second double. Instead of landing short and then give it a go to the up ramp for the second double, that's you kind of lose time doing that. So it's faster if you can break the car by using the face of the next jump if you have a jump section. So that's kind of how I scrub. And sometimes, like, let's say you only have a triple, like here the big triple is pretty much like that as well. So right before I take off, I usually just touch the brake, so I make sure the car jumps like nose down and it stays a little lower. So yeah,
So there's actually quite a lot going on then.
Yeah, pretty much. As I said, you know, it will take a lot of time, and it's nothing that I think about doing. You know, I just do it by my muscle memory, I guess.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm slightly confused and slightly more enlightened, so thanks for that, David.
No problem.
Okay, let's get down to business. We're in the Philippines for 2 rounds of the RCGP World Series. Yesterday, round 1 was won by Davide Ongaro, and today it's a whole new title up for grabs. We have 13 drivers in the RCGP class about to get into qualifying, which takes place over 4 14-lap races. Each race awards points for finishing position. 0 points for the win, 2 points for second, 3 points for third, and so on. So the aim is to get the lowest points possible after 4 rounds and take pole position in the finals. Also, after each qualifying race, the finishing order is inverted. So the previous race winner starts on the back row and has to battle their way through the pack again to get a good position. That's the theory. Now let's see it in action with the qualifying roundup from earlier today.
For the top 3, for the top 4 all going through in order. And you go round, and Ongaro starting well, going down into the off-camber corner. He'll accelerate up and then come over the first of the doubles. That's the Coca-Cola double, that's the Motor World double. Alton made a little bit of a break in third, and now Roberts right behind him again. As close as you can be, because you can't get any closer than that because he did him. And this should be it for Ongaro, and he's going to take it, and there we go. Ongaro takes it.
I don't make mistakes. I saw David made a mistake here, and I'm happy now for the car.
And they're off. And it's a clean start for a couple. Max Mort went off the track, but he's carried on going. Ronefalk made a great start to 6th already. So Ronefalk is the big winner in that first one. I think 7th is Ongaro. So it's a battle between Hoffer and Mort up front. They're right together. They fly over the... Oh, Mort makes a mistake. And, and Hara now sneaks up almost and says, no, and they tangle. And this is great because Ronefalk now, in a lap and a half, is second. Ronefalk has gone from 12th to 2nd in less than 2 laps. Hoffer's still ahead, and he's fallen off the track. No, then straight through goes Ongaro, and he's off the track! Ongaro went through, was off the track! And who's got through now? Was that Ongaro? I don't know. And now upside down, Hoffer's upside down now, and Canas is leading. Canas leads. 2nd place, Ronefalk. 3rd place, Ongaro. So 12 has been done. Now, 2 laps to go. Can Goncalves hang on, or will it be 2 wins and 2 points for Ongaro? 1v2. It's as close as it can be after an incredibly action-packed race, an amazing middle section as well. And we are now looking, oh, and Ongaro's gone, and now stick there, because now Ronefalk has picked it up. Canas looking like a surefire winner now, but Ronefalk now has 2nd place. It's just ahead of these 2. I mean, to Canas now, turn round to Canas on the blue, and about to come off the line. Canas going round the berm, and he takes something. Whoa, he's got it there. And then it's 2nd place for Ronefalk, 3rd place for Ongaro. Juan Carlos, finally a bit of luck, and you've won the race.
Yes, was really good. I have some lucky now. and the car was good. I changed some little change for this, for make a hard arm, and was very good. And for the next, I don't know. But
We're away. And so Mort makes a reasonable start, but it's Stringer who leads him out. Stringer, Mort, Hara, and Ogden in fourth. So Ogden already picked up a position. And it's actually Hoffer who's dropping back, and JQ gets in at the back, moving forward. There's back three, still back three, so much movement. Ongaro's made a couple of spaces. So, looking up the inside there was Mort to try and get past Stringer, but it's still Stringer from Mort as they go up the hill for the first time and down the step. The difficult doubles are next, where they come streaking down on the straight, but it's Ogden who's got through to third already. Mort tight to get the inside into it. Mort had a little bit bad job, and Ogden get it. Ogden's got the drive. He got his own man. Ogden up the inside of Mort. He took him in a fence and got it, but Ogden got it. And then Lee Martin jumped Mort. And then Mort tagged him. Mort tagged Martin, and Martin's run of bad luck just continues unabated. But I think that one of the cars, I think Ongaro is dead last, and I think Ronefalk's broken and Ongaro's last. We've lost the two favourites. Ongaro is last and Ronefalk has broken. So something went wrong for Ronefalk. He's now running last. So Stringer leads. Ogden second. Massive crash set off by Mort touching the back of Martin has resulted in Ongaro dropping to the back of the cars that are running. Oh, now Ogden makes a mistake. 0.7 of a second. Oh, and look at the inside, but now it's a Stringer. Managed to block the corner, but he's just now. Oh, and no, they got it. Canas goes through. Canas goes through, and McBride goes through. Canas and McBride have gone through. Stringer got tangled up with Bataille. Suddenly, Canas is looking at back-to-back wins, and he now starts his last lap. It's one lap for Canas to make a back-to-back win in RCGP. This is unheard of. Even Ongaro couldn't get from the back to the front. He's been helped by some strange situations in the track, and particularly Max Mort grenading most of the field in one move where he clipped Lee Martin. But now Canas is 3 corners away from a back-to-back win and going to the top of the rankings in this particular race 2 of RCGP. And Canas turns around and he's won again. 2 wins. Oh, the line just. McBride gets Stringer. And it's going to be JQ coming round in 4th. But that is absolutely amazing. One Carlos Canas, you've done something that no one else has been able to do. You've won 2 in a row from the back to the front. How?
Calm. I most calm that yesterday, and I almost more lucky other time. And for me, car now is good. It's easy to drive, better than yesterday, and see for the last.
Off, no jump starts. There's a clean start from Ronefalk, and then he got Mort behind him. Bit of a kerfuffle behind. It's Ogden in 4. Ogden, nice check pass. So Ogden got past Martin in 4th, and Ongaro is in 5th, I think. So Ongaro's 5th. Oh dear, that's how you define luck. Oh no, you say that, then Ongaro went right off the track. That's amazing. Battle fell over, then held up McBride. Ongaro went past both of them and then fell off the track. So McBride is in between Bataille and more importantly ahead of Ongaro. Now in the points overall, of course, Canas has 2 zeros and probably a 7 or an 8. Whereas we have a 1 and a 2 and whatever this is for Ongaro. Still in second is McBride, and Bataille's dropped it. So that's one of those positions. And then a mistake for another mistake from Ongaro. He let him back through. Or did he wait? I don't know. So there's Ronefalk. He's got 2 corners to go to take this one, and I think put himself into a 2nd or 3rd overall. Ronefalk wins it. David, all I can say was that seemed very easy.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Got a good lead on the first couple of laps, and after that I was just controlling my pace, making sure I stayed on the wheels, and you know, I know I didn't have the chance to TQ, so my time didn't matter this time. So, you know, finishing on first to get that one extra point for a qualifier win is important in the end of the year when the championship is going to be decided. So
David there once again with the strategy looking long term. Now, just moments before the round 2 final, we've a brief moment to look at this. An RC clinic held earlier in the week by the RCGP pro drivers, answering questions and giving a real insight into their setups.
Compared to most races, I'm running like 2 steps thicker oil. So let's say if I normally run 35, I'm running 40 weight.
If you want to learn more about RC, check out rcgp.com to learn more about the series and find out how you can get involved. Position 1.
Driving car number 94, Davide Angar for Team Scampi Rosso.
Position 2.
Driving car number 23, Juan Carlos Canas in the S-Works.
Position 3.
In car number 7, driving for HB Racing, David Ronafal.
Position 4.
In the Infinity, car number 10, Kyle McBride.
Position 5.
Driving the Beach RC, car number 36, Robert Battier.
Position 6.
In the HB Racing, number 15, Cole Ogden.
Position 7.
The number 100, Joseph Quadrain for JQ Racing.
Position 8.
In the Infinity, number 12, Lee Martin.
Position 9.
It's Mika Vidmar driving for S-Works in car number 14.
Position 10.
Car number 93, Aaron Stringer driving for Beach RC.
Position 11.
Driving car number 33 for Team Scampi Rosso, Patrick Hoffer.
Position 12.
Driving the JQ Racing, car number 18, Max Mort.
Position 13.
Driving car number 8 for Beach RC at Sushihara.
Okay, 5 seconds to go. And away! And it's a clean start. And a good start for Ongara. Canas in second, Ronafalk third. Still going over grid order with the Australian McBride in fourth. And it's already a little bit of a gap there for Ongara as he gets away in lap 1. He's pulled a gap, and the battle is second and third. So let's get to this. Oh, wow, look at that. A good jump, and suddenly Ronafalk is in second. So Ronafalk takes second, and let's stick with the second, third, and fourth. You can just see a little flash of Ongara as he goes through. But Ronafalk now, oh, he got a bad landing and dropped down to third again. So the net effect of that is a good start for Ongaro. Canas second, Ongaro third, McBride 4, battle 5. Ongaro didn't land, and it's Ogden 6. So, out in front, Davide Ongaro. Second is Canas. Third is Ronafalk. Fourth, McBride. As they settle down, Ronafalk got a break and then kind of lost it again because he mislanded at that corner there. But they come down, and now he has to set about getting past Canas before Ongaro gets too much of a lead. Now, these three have been the class today. Canas has a massive comeback from the previous event yesterday, the whole yesterday, when he just couldn't get the car handling, had no luck at all. But now he's won 2 of the qualifying rounds, and he's holding back Ronnefalk. Getting into a battle we saw a lot in one of the qualifiers between Robert Battle and Cole Ogden for 4th and 5th. And then it's McBride 6, Stringer 7, Vidmeyer 8. So, whilst going well, Ongaro's not breaking away. He's got a lead of 1.7 seconds. Ronnefalk desperately chasing after Canas. And that will go by, and the lead now is 1.6. So in fact, the Canas Ronnefalk train on your picture here gained a 10th of a second on Ongaro. Now Ongaro probably has to decide whether to push and risk a mistake or just ease it back and hope for the best. And not a very good line there, and that's cost them both time. Canas got it wrong, Ronnefalk couldn't get past him, and they both lose time, and that's the good news. This is where Ongaro is going to gain this early part, because whilst they're not hitting each other, these two are as fast as Ongaro. When they louse each other up, that's when Ongaro gains, and the gain he made there was 0.6 of a second. Now, this is a very key part of what we've seen on this track here at Circular Verde the past 3 days, is it's very, very difficult to pass. If there's a driver ahead of you who wants to keep his line, getting past him is going to be very difficult. And this is what Ronnefalk's suffering moments. He's in 2nd and 3rd. He's in 2nd. Canas driving a great line in 3rd. Robert Battle beginning to split away from Ogden in 4th. And up the inside. Oh, that's a great overtake. Fantastic stuff. So, got him on the landing there. And let's see that one again. If we can, in a minute. It's still going round. And there we go. So he just lands it, turns, and it gets a better. And also a check block pass on the whole thing as it went on. So they come round. There's a nice 2-corner pass there. And you come back almost a lap later. The net effect, though, of that passing is that Ronnefalk has still lost some time in that last lap. We saw the fastest lap of the race from Ongaro, 29.1. And Canas now not being gapped by Ronnefalk in his 2nd and 3rd battle. Ogden and Battle are falling away, but not from each other, just from these two. The lead for Ongaro remains 3 seconds. And now it's kind of get your head down, do what you can do for Ronnefalk. But he's now managing a little bit of space behind him. The gap came down by 0.2 of a second there to the leader. Oh, and the massive tank slap of the Canas has lost him a few. So now the pressure's off temporarily. It's now down for Ronnefalk to start turning some laps to catch up on Garo. Battle now in 4th, Ogden 5th. Nisha Widmeyer, great run for him to 6th. But Bride, unfortunately, is dropping down. He's in 8th. And you've got the back of the field is Martin, Hara, Mork, Green and Stringer. And that time round, there was a gain of a loss. Ronnefalk lost a 10th of a second despite setting his fastest lap, because Ongaro set his fastest lap, which is the fastest lap of the race so far, at 29.062. So Ongaro looking pretty good for his lead at the moment. Cars are now in a 6th position, but again, a little bit of a loss of time, I think, by Ronnefalk there. So Ronnefalk is slowly losing a little bit of time each lap. This time he lost half a second, and it's all those micro mistakes that are going to cost him. Canas also is dropping off, so at the moment it's all going really to plan for Davide Ongaro and the Scuderia Scampi Ross. Remember, he won round 1 yesterday, which is 2 30-lap finals, and now he has to try and do the same thing with 120 laps. But don't forget, just 2 weeks ago at the DXR final, we saw him do this at the start of the race against Ryan Lutz. And then Lutz hunted him down as conditions got more difficult and the tyres wore out. Well, I'm pretty sure he won't make a mistake again. I'm sure he'll have a durable tyre for the whole race with Ongaro. Let's see if we can pick up the leader now. He's at the top of the track, about to go over the infinity jump, and comes now into the off-camber corner. This is Ongaro. Pulled out a 4.2 second lead. Another fastest lap of all, 28.8 in the last lap. And we are about 5.5 minutes in. Still too early to think about the first pit stop. And that time round, he gained another 0.4 of a second. So he's got himself into a nice little rhythm now on Ongaro. And the rhythm is kind of cracking the pace of Ronafalk, who's dropping back a small amount each time. And he's dropped back another small amount, and equidistantly dropping, it has to be said, is Canas. And then there's a kind of a train of cars, and the person who's going particularly well at the moment is Misha Vidmar. Vidmar is pulling through the field at the moment. He's now up to 5th. So that SDS works. Obviously, got their cars worked out. And Ronafalk's got a problem with the tyre. Okay, we need Ronafalk. He's going over the infinity jump. Ronafalk over the infinity jump now. Ronafalk coming over the low camber. Ronafalk now onto the double, the Coca-Cola double. He's got a problem with his front left. So this is a disaster for David Ronafalk. The tyre's coming off the rim. What's he going to do? Well, he's going to come into pits. He's dropped down to 3rd. He's going to have to get a tyre change. I'm sure that the pits are ready for him. We are just 6 minutes in, and it looks like it could be. There he goes. Let's see what the pit stop does. They are fueling him at the same time. They had another one on there. And out he goes, and that is going to cost him probably a lap, I would think. Somebody else put the stop, but that's put him back nowhere. And now it's this is damage limitation for Ronafalk now. He's lost best part of a lap. Let's see what this lap time was. His last one wasn't brilliant. He's down a lap. And this whole situation, as he comes over, flies over, and Ronafalk flies over that, and his time is a 53. So as they all come, the only good thing about that was it happened in time to have a fuel stop. It wasn't a total loss. So Ongaro leads 7 seconds from Juan Carlos Canas, 17 seconds from Battle. It's Misha Vidmar now, who's Patrick Hoffer now has picked up 4th place. So the race is looking a bit different to it was. Let's see if we can find our leader, Ongaro, should just have finished the lap. And he's now coming down the main straight. Yep. No, where is he? Where's the cheeky monkey? There he is. Okay. So there's Ongaro. Back in the lead and already lapping traffic. A long way ahead of Canas. So Ongaro. Looking good. So he's now turning. Last lap was 35 because it's fuel on it. 29.2. Canas even lost a bit of time in the pit stop. So that first bit of action. Interesting, even despite losing the tyre, Ronafalk only dropped to 7th. So he has a chance to try and really get himself back together. He's a long, long way behind. He's a lap behind, basically. I'm surprised he's not further behind, actually, but as they come on. So we're now with Ogden, who's just behind So Ongaro, he's a lap ahead now of Ogden and Ronafalk. Ogden and Ronafalk are behind him. There's a lap down. So you look at that train. The middle car there is Ogden, who's a lap down in 6th, and then a lap down in 7th is Ronafalk. So the leader, and then Ronafalk now is running with Ongaro, but the problem is he's a lap down after losing that front left tyre. Now I know what he's going to do. Is he just going to try and unlap himself? He is, and he's let him unlap himself. Okay. Ah, that's why. That's a 33. It's not a 94. That's interesting. Okay, there's a bit of a Hoffer's car and Ongaro's car are a bit too similar in colour, I've decided. And that's the second time I've made a mistake, and I apologise. Let's actually pick up Ongaro's. That would be a far more useful thing to do. So drop 2 spaces, and that is Ongaro. So it was actually. And there we are. So Ogden let Ongaro go through then. That's right, with the orangey wing. So they are playing fair. It was Hoffer all along. Hoffer's got a body show at certain angles, looks very similar to Ongaro's. Or either they have single colours, make it much easier. One's white, one's red, one's blue. So not a lap down, a bit less than a lap down as we look at the leader is Ronafalk in 5th after that, just in the fastest lap. So he's now racing angry after the racing gods were annoyed with him. So it's Ongaro, and behind him is the lapped Cole Ogden. So there's no one really at this part. Now, I think there was interesting. Ronefalk. Can we move forward to Ronefalk? Because he is a little bit further. Where is Ronefalk? Where's the little green monkey? There he is. He's up at the top of the track now and coming over the infinity jump because he's actually storming back through the field. Despite being the best part of a lap behind Ongaro, he's now catching up with Robert Battle. So Robert Battle hasn't had a tyre come off. He's only a couple of seconds ahead of him. In fact, you've now got 5, 4. So you've got 3, 4, and 5. Including Ronefalk, 3 wheels on my wagon, is now trying to catch up Battle. So there's still a lot of points to be won for Ronefalk, and he may end up being the story of this, apart from the fact that it looks like Ongaro has a double win, because his lead now is 12 seconds over Canas. But this is now Ronefalk driving angry, and he has to try, his next target is my tip for the whole race, because it's an hour long. Robert Battle, who's about to be subsumed by, Hara gets the stop-go, by the way. So the battle is now on for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Currently in 5th is Ronefalk, which is a remarkable performance, seeing what happened. Ronefalk now trying to get back onto the tail of Battle, and Battle, let me tell you, is only about 3 seconds behind Widmeyer, who's doing a brilliant job in 3rd. So the gap between Battle and Ronefalk will come down again. It's come down by 0.2, and it's down to 1.14 seconds. So Robert Bataille in 4th has a charging HB Performer driver from Sweden after him. Now, interestingly, Max Mort was in the mix, and now it's out of it. So the 3 cars you see are 3rd, 4th and 5th. That's 4th. If you get a bit wider, you'll see 3rd as well, which is the mainly green Misha Widmeyer, the other S-Works driver, is putting in a great performance. Now, whilst Ronefalk is gaining on all these drives, he's certainly not gaining on Ongaro. Ongaro is as 19/20ths of a lap ahead. But what he can do is you can see points, and this is a championship, and points count. It's not about, oh, I've had a bad day, I don't want to play anymore. This is the championship. He'll be doing the whole season. It's all about points, and getting past Battle and getting past Misha Widmeyer would stick him in 3rd, and then he may have a chance instead about Canas. So Canas is a very, very long way ahead of him. Right, there they go. So at this point, Battle seems to have got the hurry up. Though he did lose about 1/10 of a second there, but he did his fastest lap. So Battle did his fastest lap of the whole race there. Ronefalk fuels again. No, Ronefalk's changing another tyre. So Ronefalk's had another tyre car. There must have been a glue failure or something. So wow. So Ronefalk does not have one tyre car. So somewhere there's been a gluing issue on the tyres. And he's lost 2, both on the outside. His 2 left-hand side tyres are unglued. He now drops down behind Carl McBride in 8th position. Now, it's not often you spend the time with a man who's just had such bad luck, but he's still got a chance to drive through the field again. They're kind of they're kind of phasing these in with where they want to do a fuel stop. So at 7 minutes, they will do a fuel stop. He doesn't double lose out of it. He only single loses out of it. Ongaro has a 17-second lead over Canas now. Widmeyer is in 3rd. Battle's in 4th. So let's leave Ronefalk for his battle. Let's pick up Misha Widmeyer, who's just about to go round the off-camber corner. This is the battle for 3rd place. Widmeyer and Battle are battling for 3rd place. And Misha Widmeyer, who's probably got nose bleeding so far at the field, has shown nothing in deference to him, I'm afraid, in the 8 qualifiers they had today. But suddenly, the long final, and Battle makes a huge mistake, and Widmeyer, who was under pressure for 3rd, is now comfortably in 3rd. He is something, he's only 7 seconds behind Canas. As we may well get him coming in for fuel here. So Widmeyer, the S-Works driver from Germany, just goes to show some of these people who were previously quite unfancied by the people who thought they were in the know in the RC world have proven themselves in this atmosphere to be able to perform. Oh, that was a late decision, wasn't it? That was a last minute. I think, I'll go for it after all. Bang, and out they go. Fueled and away. Widmeyer, well, probably, I didn't see where the Battle came in there. There's a kind of a selection of unwell cars there. I think that was Battle again in his tail. So what's happened is Battle, no, that's a 60, that is Battle. So Battle there was on his back. Now, they are now 3rd and 4th again, but I think the Battle is a pit stop behind. So as they go now, we're a quarter of the way through the race. Battle and Vidmire are still... Oh, no, it wasn't to Vidmire. Just a bit of a fumble. So Vidmire fumbles. Ronefalk's back to 5th again, which is just getting ridiculous now. So Ronefalk is back to 5th. His next victim will be Misha Vidmire. So Ronefalk's still getting value for money for his track time here. As we look at Vidmire, just so you know, Ronefalk is about 4 corners back, and he's the next person there. Now, Badier's managed to get to 3rd. Now, the interesting thing about Badier being in 3rd is I think he's on a different fuel strategy from Misha Vidmire, because he should have stopped earlier. So where is Robert? Robert is exiting the corner as he enters the corner. Let's see if we can pick up one Carlos Canas. Coming down the main straight right now, blue and white. Let's see, we haven't seen much of our second place man so far. This is Canas. He's gone out. He started in the... Well, he was second for a few laps, overtaken by Ronefalk, but then Ronefalk has a problem. And Canas slowly falling off the lead that is being set by Ongaro. But now, interesting, just in the corner of my eye, Battle has indeed pitted. So Battle is on a different strategy. So Battle running longer than Vidmire. So Vidmire may well at the end of this race have reclaimed 3rd place. He has indeed. So Vidmire is 3rd. He's the car behind this car here. Canas is a 10-second gap. So Canas is about 17 seconds behind Ongaro. And 10 seconds ahead of, getting a bit more than 10 seconds ahead of Vidmire. Vidmire now I think has been lapped. I think Ongaro's lapped everyone up to 2nd. Canas down the steps is 21 seconds behind, yeah. So every lap he's losing a few tenths, but because of the way his day's been going, which is in his favour, he has very little challenge. And the person behind him is his S-Works teammate, Misha Vidmire. So the Spaniard carries on going. Now, moving back to the front again, we need to get Ronefalk and Battle. Ronefalk and Battle come over the infinity jump now, and they're about to go into the off-camber hairpin because they're back together again. This is a battle for 4th and 5th in this amazing comeback. I don't know whether, because this team, they've heard it's a team sport, they decided they're going to do as many pit stops as possible under 5 seconds, and Ronefalk's taken the whole tyre changing to heart, thinking it's an advantage. But there we go, Battle and Ronefalk. Oh, and Battle, then Ronefalk's got him. So Ronefalk is back up to 4th place. Battle had a bad landing. I think Battle probably will find it's not the setup he wanted, or perhaps we're obviously not even anywhere near halfway yet. Perhaps this wasn't the setup it is working at the moment. So Ronefalk moves forward. His next victim will once again be Misha Vidmire for 3rd place. And hopefully in between then and now a tyre doesn't fall off. So Ronefalk climbing the hill, the hot race, over the steps now. That was a dangerous double, so cool. They're trying to pitch off the track the whole time. Down the main straight, past us, past the rostrum, past the drivers, and up over the Masters jump, through the Infinity Leap. He's going to turn sharp left before he comes down the very tricky off-camber hairpin, down to virtually 0 miles an hour, and pyres over the double-double. The Coca-Cola and the Motor World double before the huge triple leap into destiny. Lands it nicely. And that's a lap with Ronefalk, and Ronefalk lapping at something like 29.1. So there's Ronefalk. He races around. Ongaro leading by about a lap. Ronefalk trying to push his way forward. Last time round he was slower after that accident than Vidmire, so that gap has put him behind Battle as well. So I was looking away, I missed him going behind Battle. As soon as you try and study something else on the computer, they always do something, which means you end up missing something happening. And people will shout, "Oh, Nick, you've missed it!" But I'll pick it up. So the battle for 4th and 5th is back on again with Robert Battle flying over the start finish, and he is currently in 4th. Ronefalk in 5th. Ronefalk is hunting him down again. The basic speed Ronefalk has got is not that far off the Ongaro speed, but and a bit of a mistake by Battle, who's kind of just using his basic experience to stay in place at the moment. Cara has another accident off camera. And Gara kind of took Martin off. No, it's Hoffer actually. And Hoffer took Martin off, and there's a big howl of disapproval. So the battle rejoined. These two have been at it for rather a long time with Battle and just nudged him out of the way. That was pretty much easy pass, wasn't it? Through goes Ronefalk back into fourth again. Now Vidmar is not a long way up the road. Vidmar is 2 cars, so you've got to get past JQ first. And there's JQ. So can Ronefalk, oh no, Ronefalk comes in more fuel. Is he keeping all the tyres this time? Yes, all tyres stay on. Back out he is, this time we'll drop behind Carl McBride. So Ronefalk stops, drops behind Carl McBride. With RCGP round 1. Currently leading is, RCGP round 2. The first of the 120 lap mains. The hour-long mains, led by David Ongaro from the bell. 1 car's Canassi second, Misha Udmar is third, Rob Battle is fourth, Conrad is fifth, and Ronefalk, which now is sixth. It has overtaken more cars than anyone else in this first 45 laps and 22 minutes. I'm going to see how far he can finish, though it does seem very much Ongaro, barring a mechanical now, is going to be the winner. But I've said it before when things go wrong. Canas looking like pretty good for a second. Don't forget, the reason that Ronefalk is down here, he's just joining us, is he has twice had to replace a tyre. Once when it was right off the rim, which is the front right, then the rear right, the front left, and then the rear left, because they obviously realised there's a fault happening with it. So Ronefalk has a bit of trouble, and Ronefalk gets McBride, because McBride was facing the wrong way. So McBride dropped home Ronefalk. And so Lee Martin's flamed out. JQ comes in the pits, eliminating himself from the list of drivers in ring. Cole Ogden, I haven't mentioned him very much. He's in 8th. He lost a lap early on, or lost some time early on, so he's not really showing the pace he's showing the rest of the time for Ogden. Still the man moving forward. Vidmar and Battle are 2.5 seconds apart. Vidmar only 7 seconds behind Canas, who's not looking that much like he's got too much power. I think maybe because we're on a different strategy. As in comes McBride beneath his fuel. Certainly Ronefalk, I think, may end up stopping once more than everyone else. Now I've got Vidmar and Ronefalk. So this is a battle now. So during the fuel stop or an accident, maybe where Battle's gone. So Ronefalk now right behind Misha Vidmar. This is the battle for fourth. Can Ronefalk get fourth place from Vidmar? Vidmar obviously had an accident off corner which took him out of contention. Also with just slightly over the top of there of I think it's probably Hoffer. Yeah, he was over Hoffer. So Ronefalk now battling for fourth place in what is a selection of comeback drives he's had today so far. Certainly earning his corn, that's for sure. So Vidmar again showing this great form the S-Works drivers picked up in this race. Misha, unfancy before he got here, but certainly showing why he is here. Running fourth, running laps, they're keeping Ronefalk behind him. And Ronefalk will be looking very hard to try and get up to the front. So it's a battle here between Ronefalk and Vidmar. Vidmar knowing that if he runs the line, he can carry on blocking. That's the 14 car against the 7 car. It's the S-Works against the HB. It's a sweep. Oh, it's got him. No, yes, he has. They're both in the air and they both crash, obviously, but both get going most of the right way. And he hits him, and that's just losing time for both of them. And I think we'll have those are warnings. Yes, see that one again because they've both been given a warning. So into fourth place, but losing time goes. So they land it, and that's kind of fair enough. I'm not quite sure. They kind of waited, clipped, waited, went round, and that's no foul. That's just confusion by those two drivers who've come to the air. So Ronefalk gets through on that one. He's in fourth now, but third will be a lot further away because of that kerfuffle, and they've lost time. And indeed, Battle now is about 5 seconds past him. So Vidmar, so he's been dropping another ill car in the back. And that's Stringer, who, as you can see, was just passed by the man himself, Ronefalk. So Ronefalk has gone past Battier. I'm not sure he did that. Where's Battier? He's in the pit. So Ronefalk's gone to third. Because Battier made a mistake, so Ronefalk now is in third. Battier is chasing him down, so not quite there because there's a different fuel strategy going on. I think Battier might actually still be in that third. So Ronefalk now driving on. Dropping down the main straight. Right, Ronefalk now in third. He's a lap and 19 seconds and a lap and a half back. It's 19 seconds he's got to try and make on one car's canal. I think it's a bit hard to do, though he was a 2.6 faster last time. As he comes back towards us, flies it. Let's see what happens this time round. 30.7 for Canas that time. And a 29, well, he's gaining at 1.7 seconds a lap. So Ronefalk, despite everything, and I've got the feeling that he is going to have to take fuel before both Battle and Misha Vidmar got back behind them again. Just to remind you that Ongaro is winning this quite easily by 3/4 to 4/8 of a lap. And we are now at 55 laps after 27 minutes. So they're going to get quite close to being half an hour. Remember, Ronefalk has a fast lap of 28.6. One car's Canas has lost all his pace. So Canas has lost all his pace and he's losing something like 2 seconds a lap to Ronefalk. Now, I'm not quite sure why that is. Is Canas running out of grip? What is it? Let's pick up one car's Canas. Underneath us now, the 23 car. He's blue and he's red and he's now at the top of the circuit. Because Canas may have had several poor laps in a row. That last one was a 29.1, but he's not been in the 28s for a while. He's about to get lapped as well. So Ongaro is about to lap Canas. As you see Canas go away, he'll come around the complete another lap. You'll see in the background, that is your leader about to put a lap in, and that one was a 29.3. Again, there's not much pace. Ronefalk's dropped down below. I think must have Ronefalk's changing another tyre. And he's stalled. And Ronefalk's, this is just a litany of errors for Ronefalk. He's now changed 3 tyres. I don't know what's gone wrong. Whether the glue has failed on all of them. So Ronefalk has another stop. So despite him being laser fast, it doesn't really matter. Because Canas, if you stop in the pits that many times, you're not going to win a race. So Canas carries on going. That time round, again, a 33.3. And Ongaro has lapped him. He's a lap down, but he is second. And the question is whether Robert Battier can hunt down his Spanish teammate for second or third. Ronefalk rejoins in sixth again, in what has been a monumentally difficult race. So JCC, one car's Canas. Not quite at the halfway mark yet. Ongaro, as we reach halfway, he's lapped the field, Ongaro. Canas is second. The story really is the trials, the 2 stories. Ongaro, fabulous. And the trials and tribulations of Dave Ronefalk has now made 3 separate stops for a tyre change. So whoever glued up his tyres obviously used the wrong stuff. Or perhaps they just forgot. Perhaps one of those days. And they replaced 3. My guess is they're going to have to replace the 4th one as well at some point, if they're having a problem with 3 of them. As our leader takes fuel. So the Canas, running as he is in second, might just have unlapped himself. No. No, yeah, I think he has. Yeah, just unlapped himself there. So, in the fuel stops, Ongaro now is not a lap ahead of the field. It's a halfway light. Don Carlos Canas survived it. 29.7, 29.5, 29.4. There's Canas now. He will be back being a lap behind again. But it all goes away. And the S-Works fires up. And he drops behind the lapped 33 of Patrick Hoffer. Just at the bottom of the field, it's JQ in 8th, Patrick Hoffer in 9th, Max Moore in 10th, Aaron Stringer 11th, Hara in 12th, and Lee Martin, who hasn't really been able to catch a break at any point this weekend, in 13th. Aaron Stringer takes some fuel, The body painted by his mum, we found out. So let's see, 62 laps, 31 minutes for Ongaro. We're still with Canas, and Canas is quite a long way away. Battle McBride and Widmeyer are not far from them. McBride took himself to fourth, and Battle is in third, but they're all quite spaced out. Let's see if we can find McBride. Yeah, let's pick up the red and white car about to go up the straight there. That's Carl McBride now in fourth. He's been oscillating around the field. The Australian at the top of the pitch coming down over the Infinity Leap as the lights make themselves more seen now. You're getting more kind of look of the lights on the track. So as the wind picks up and the sun goes down, normally the wind drops when it gets towards dusk. That might just be a British thing, I don't know. So here we go, Carl McBride in fourth place. Oh, well, he was in fourth place, now taking fuel. That means you can see when he comes out again, we can see where he is now. So, hops down now. And through the edges, now comes back towards our second camera. And when he crosses the line, we'll get an idea of where McBride is. And he has dropped. No, he stayed in fourth. That's surprising. Oh, no, he stayed in fourth. He's got Widmeyer very close behind him, though. And, he's got Canas looking to put a lap on him. So Canas will let through, and then the car behind him now is Widmeyer. And then behind him, obviously, it's Ronefalk, who is just racing for his life today. Obviously going to have to stop and change another tyre at some point. And I'm sure this would be just an ordinary final somewhere, he'd have given up and gone, well, there's not much point really, is there? But this isn't. This is a point-scoring championship, so you need to get the points. You need to... Any result, any position up is a great result. So McBride in 4, Widmeyer in 5, Canas in between them. And let's drop back to Widmeyer in the green car. That's 2 back, the all-green car. So that is now, Widmeyer has now got Ronefalk back behind him again. Just all you Ongaro fans, he's leading by a lap, and that's another position for Ronefalk. As Widmeyer makes a mistake, and you can see that the light has changed as the dust has come out. We're now looking more at the beauty of the sunset, but another battle through the field on tyre change 3. This is for Ronefalk. Move forward 1 car to Ronefalk, because he's now got to try and move forward as he's doing all he can. His next target, again, will be Carl McBride, but it's a few seconds behind McBride. That last lap Ronefalk wasn't particularly quick either. Carlos Canas has found some of his pace again. Middling 29s. Ongaro middling 29. I'm sure just doing what he needs to do. And upside down goes Ronefalk. Doesn't help him very much. That means he's now dropped back to 5th again. And got to do it all over again. Ballier's just stopped for fuel again on 34 minutes. So he may be getting a little bit closer to McBride. He's about to get lapped. And McBride's still a long way away. Canas still looking to lap McBride in 4th. Widmeyer back ahead of Ronefalk after Ronefalk's mistake. So 70 down, 50 to go. We're over halfway in this race, which is looking like a pretty good one for Ongaro. But the real question is, where on earth will Ronefalk finish, and how many tyres will it take him to get there? He's on 7 already. He's back on Widmeyer's tail. They're on slightly different strategies, so I think actually Widmeyer is net a bit further ahead than this. So, as you can see, McBride is 8 seconds behind. 8 seconds behind Battle. Misha is in again. Oh, wow, didn't change a tyre that time. That's a first. So Ronefalk actually didn't change a tyre that time. So the 4th tyre probably is the one that's stuck on properly. He's just ahead of JQ at the moment. There's a 16-second gap between Battle and One Cars Canas. There's an 8-second gap between Battle and McBride. There's a 5-second gap between Widmeyer and McBride, and a 5-second gap prior to the pit stop for Ronefalk. That is a 5-second gap. So Ronefalk now is in sixth, probably comfortably. He might not have changed any more tyres, and he's got 47 laps to do something about it, which I'm not quite sure what he can do. Canas had another poor lap that time, but he's got a very big cushion of 13 seconds over Battle, who is keeping up the idea he's going to be a bit of a fox. So the next person is a long way away. So let's see if we can find the man who's dominating this event. He's down the main straight now with a black wing. Just going out. He's the third of the cars at the top. That is Davide Ongaro. He's got two people in front of him who are going to get extra laps. It's Lee Martin and his teammate Patrick Hoffer. Martin eases back for him. I'm sure Patrick Hoffer will as well. As Ongaro goes on his merry way. Now, off camera, Ronefalk has unlapped himself from Canas. So Canas really isn't going, he's really, I don't know, he's settling for second. He's not going forward, that's for sure. So Ongaro in a lot of traffic, he's got Stringer. Cars letting through, he's got Stringer, Mort letting through, and this is Stringer now ahead of him. So 3 cars letting through, which is what you need to do when you're that far ahead. Stringer hasn't quite seen him yet. Gets the blue flags, moves out the way. Ongaro goes on his merry way. Team Scuderia Scampi Rosso. I was saying T. I was saying, oh, Ongaro's upside down. Well, that's the end of it. He'll never win now. Oh, yes, he will. This gives him more traffic to go past again. So even he's not invincible. I think the only thing that could cost him now is if his concentration goes, he makes a mistake that breaks the car. He's established the lead, but that is always a risk. If anyone remembers Ayrton Senna at Monaco, I think it was 88, winning by miles, lost concentration, crashed the banner, that was it. Skulked off home, wouldn't talk to anybody for about a week apparently, he was that upset. But it's all about concentration level. And in many ways, this is going to be harder for Ongaro than if he was chasing someone down, where he could just have the focus of catching the gap or have the focus of keeping ahead. He's now comfortably ahead. If he doesn't win, we're all going to go, what happened? And let's see what happens from there. Okay, let's go back to our favourite subject, which is David Ronefalk. He's just about to go over start-finish now. There he is, because he's now catching up again, Misha Widmeyer, for about the 23rd time onto the steps for Ronefalk. He's got to kind of avoid Lee Martin, who has a slap jump. And Widmeyer goes to the pit, so he's got a free pass. So Martin, that's interesting. Ronefalk's gone past him as he went in the pit, which means effectively he is no longer a pit stop behind him. So that's just a genuine gap. And that means that Ronefalk moves quite nicely up to 5th. So the gap between Ronefalk and McBride is 7. So you see, like, One Cars Canas, it's 5 seconds to Battle, 6 seconds to McBride, 7 seconds more to Ronefalk. So they've eased themselves out. There's Misha Widmeyer, Cole Ogden and Joseph Green, but I think Ogden and Green are a lap further back. So we're now coming up to 80 laps, and we are 2/3 of the way through. Because obviously the race, not all the cars do 120 laps, just the winner does. And at the end of that lap, the rest of them finish. So, Ronefalk now. The closest, there's no super close battles. But that could all change. I think there's another set of pit stops to go, and they need to kind of wondering what's going to go fuel-wise. Oh, people getting out of the way, which is quite useful. Now, One Cars Canas has definitely lost time over the past few laps or at Battle, but not a massive amount. The lead's gone down from about 17 to 7. That sounds a lot, but I'm sure that Robert's on a different fuel strategy. So who's upside down there? That's Ronefalk. It's gone upside down. Didn't lose a place, but that's bad news for him. He's attempting to stay ahead of Vidmar at the pit stop. Let's go and shift over to Robert Bataille. Robert, he's just coming over the Infinity Leap now. Orange with yellow wheels. Hara lets him through. And that is Robert Bataille. He's drifting around in the middle. So comes across the line there. Gained 0.4 of a second on Carlos Canas, but he's still 8 and a bit behind him. So your leader, David Ongaro, he was a lap and a half ahead of Juan Carlos Canas. He's 8 seconds ahead of Robert Bataille. Robert Bataille is 13 seconds ahead of Carl McBride. Carl McBride is 3 seconds ahead of Ronefalk, who is 2 seconds ahead of Vidmar. So there they go. Still with Bataille. Over the lap again. Yeah, one back, Zach. So it's the orange. So what's changed? Right, let's see if we can. I'm going to see if I can find Carl McBride in the 10 car, because that is getting more interesting now. Okay, let's go to the red and white car that is about to fly the triple. That's Carl McBride from Australia. Goes round the berm now. And up and over the steps. So Carl McBride in fourth, but the lead is being eroded by Ronefalk. He's dropped off Bataille, but I think that's again a fuel strategy. Someone's thrown himself off the track just in front of them. There's a lot of Ogden's had another accident. The Ogden's really not having a good day. Now, usually Misha Vidmar has not lost any time to Ronefalk since the accident that Ronefalk had on camera his last viz. And Bride, who I thought would be gobbled up by Ronefalk relatively quickly, in fact has gained half a second on that time. So Ronefalk is 3.2 seconds behind McBride here. Misha Vidmar just 1.3 behind Ronefalk. So Ronefalk's pace appears to be... now another new tyre for Ronefalk. That's 4. That's why his pace went. So they really are changing tyres more regularly than they used to do in the Super Sticky qualifiers back in the 80s. So that's McBride's pressure off, Vidmar's pressure off. Max Mort looks like Max Mort's got a problem, so he might be retiring. Ronefalk 45-second lap, so he lost about 10 to 12 on that tyre stop and dropped down to 6th, sorry. So Ongaro leads by a long way. Juan Carlos Canas is second. Third is Bataille. Fourth is the man we're with, who is Carl McBride. Misha Vidmar is 5th. Robert's also, Bataille's not getting any nearer to Canas either. So Canas has kind of found a pace which is keeping him where he wants to be, which is very safely in second place. Bataille in third, McBride 4th. Vidmar 5th. And the race kind of, Juan Carlos Canas has absolutely discovered his pace there. He is fastest lap of the race in the last. Oddly, both Canas and Bataille have done their fastest laps of the race last lap. I'm not sure the conditions are much better for them, but 29.6 for Canas and 28.9 for Bataille. So we are now 3/4 of the way through, 90 and 30. Our leader has taken us around all those laps. Canas takes fuel beneath us, and it's fired up and gone. So when we come round timing and scoring in a second, we'll see what the gap is. McBride, kind of a no man's land. McBride's actually not that far from Bataille. He could catch him. He's 4.5 seconds behind Bataille now. He's gained about 2 in the last few laps. Going to need to really push the Australian with the Infinity. We'll see Battle probably right, I think, unless he's taking, no, he's taking fuel. So McBride, 4.5 seconds back from Battle. Vidmar 10 seconds behind McBride now. And I think Ronefalk's challenge, despite some very fast laps, is kind of waning now. He's just fed up and trying to overtake everybody. He is in 6th. He's not like last. He's not got no points. Rongara, 93 laps down. Juan Carlos Canas, 91. We're at Battle. Carl McBride. So, as we come to the pits of Quad Green, let's have a quick shifty if we can. It's amazing. He's looking for something. I can see him. So who's gone? We've lost one of the drivers. And it's Stringer's flamed again. He's been having engine problems the whole time. So let's go and have a look at our leader, who's just about to take the big triple. There's Ongaro landing it. And in the background, you'll see the orange car Robert Battle as they come up the hill and go over the steps now. You'll see the orange car of Robert Battle. So Ongaro flies it. And then you've got Battle behind him. So Ongaro carrying on his merry way. He's dragging back. Is he going to drag Battle up towards anyone? I don't know, really. 29.3, 29.0. No, Canas still pulling away from Robert. McBride. Battle has been rejoined in the everlasting Misha Vidmar. Their Ronefalk battle. So let's find Misha Vidmar. Vidmar is the all-green car about to take the big triple leap now. On the berm now. So Vidmar is, and he's literally going to lose a place now because Ronefalk just overjumped. So Ronefalk has there on the camera, as we saw, picked up again Vidmar's place. So it's 5th. They were fighting for 4th and 3rd before, but he picked up 5th. So Ronefalk moves up a position to 5th. Now, obviously, he's still got another 25 laps of his tyres to stay on, which hasn't been a massively positive thing so far. Running in 5th. Ongaro leads. Canas 2nd. Battle 3rd. McBride 4th. Misha Vidmar in 5th. Actually, it's not. It's Ronefalk in 5th now, isn't it? Ronefalk 5th. Vidmar is 6th. Accident just at the fresh part of the new lap. This is Vidmar now with the S-Works. No, that's not true, Scotty. So, Ongaro just actually lost a couple of seconds, but he has got a lap and 3/4. As the lights get brighter in comparison to the dulling sky. Oh, that's Vidmar, another mistake. He's a long way ahead of Ogden, though. Right, okay, let's have a look, and let's see who we can pick up. Let's have a little look at our second place man. I'll try and find you on the track for him. So as you can hear in the background, it's 100 laps, 20 to go. So Juan Carlos Canas, he's just going over the line now. He's just been unlapped by Ronefalk. So Canas is the second of those cars on the steps now. White wheels, white wing, blue and funny colours, and a massive tank slapper. Back one, Zach, thank you. And you can see it getting a little bit darker out there, even on the cameras. Still the floodlights are taking the edge off it. The drivers can see perfectly well. But Canas running second. Probably envisaged being slightly behind Ronefalk a long way into the race. We didn't realise that with Ronefalk's travails, he'd actually be slightly behind, but a couple of laps ahead. So, you know, this is the unpredictability of one of those nitro racing. Anything can happen. There's certainly going to be a lot of head scratching in the HB pit off this one because, you know, the pace has been there for David, but just the wheels have been falling off. So this battle with Ronefalk and Juan Carlos Canas is not real because there's laps between them. The advantage of the young Spaniard, because we've had 4 tyre changes now for Ronefalk. I think they've changed one they changed as well. So they are working on the fronts more. Ronefalk takes some fuel. Canas carries on going. So Ballet now getting closer just because the way the various things flow. Ronefalk now. So Canas, the Spaniard, looking pretty impressive. The question really is Kyle McBride actually going to be able to challenge Robert Battier? Will Dave Ronefalk be able to stay ahead? Oh, Ronefalk's just done the fastest lap of the entire final, a 28.5, so Ronefalk's not slouching about now. I'm sure he's driving angry, because he must be angry with someone, probably himself, for this tyre situation. He is in 5th, but he's really got no chance. He could get 4th, but it'll take a bit of luck. He's a long way behind McBride. McBride, though, is gaining on Robert Battier. As we carry on with Juan Carlos Canas in 2nd place. Now, this is kind of like, let's see if we can find Aussie Kyle again, because Aussie Kyle is moving slightly towards, now the pits has come Canas, moving slightly towards. Interesting, as the light slightly changed, the virility of the colour has changed. It's not quite as easy to see which each car is. Obviously not on the track, it's not easy either. Okay, so the car now coming down the motorway, the number 10 car. 2nd car up the hill right now at the top. They're both, unfortunately, both the red and white cars, but it's Hara in the 8th, so the 2nd car going around the off-camber corner. That is, and he's getting through. That is the car of Carl McBride. Now, McBride wasn't massively behind Battle, but he's 5.5 seconds, and the Australians going to make up, and many of that you kind of think is going to take an error. So McBride comes down the main straight, carries as much speed as possible. He goes over the Masters jump and then up to the top of the circuit through the roller, over the Infinity Leap, turn sharp left, and then into the very difficult off-camber hairpin. He'll turn around back in front of him, back under the rostrum, over the Coca-Cola jump, over the motor oil jump, and turning with a big drive onto the triple and round the berm and up over start finish. And that's, oh, and he just lost momentum there as he climbed back up for the steps in the dangerous doubles. And over the main straight, and that's the lap of the Circular Verde track with Carl McBride from the Infinity team. And thank you to Infinity, thank you to HB Racing Performer, thank you to BeachRC.com, thank you to Scuderia, Scampi Rosso, S-Works, JQ Racing, and of course our other sponsors, Hot Race, Savox Servos and Reds Engines, for being us here at the moment. You're watching Carl McBride running in 4th place. And he's dropping away from Robert Battier. Ongaro still leads with 11 laps to go. Ronefalk is going to have to try and make up 7 seconds, which he might do at this rate, but I think he's got an extra stop. 54 minutes, I think some of them on their last stop may have one more. Ronefalk is the most likely to overtake McBride, only because McBride is only 7 seconds ahead. So moving now, Misha Widmeyer is in 6th. So Carlos Canas has got a 12.2 second lead over Robert Battle. Robert Battle is 5.3 seconds ahead of Carl McBride. And Carl McBride is 6 seconds ahead of Ronefalk, who just put in another fastest lap of the entire race and gained a second on McBride. Now, he's got 10 laps to do it, but I think he's got a fuel stop as well. So I'm not sure he's going to do it because of that situation. But let's go and find in many ways, the star of the show, but for the wrong reasons. It's Ronefalk. Ronefalk flies the triple now over the berm. Let's see David flying up over the finish lap. That time round, he gained just 0.3 over McBride, so the gap is 6.5 seconds. Ongaro, by the way, is still giving his masterclass, which unfortunately means you don't get much time on the picture. Ongaro has made his final stop, so he is happily away. Canas second. A lap and 2/3 behind. He's 2 laps behind now. A lap down. Just a lap down, in fact, they go over. Right, so Ronefalk has just got past, got past McBride on the pit stop. So McBride now is just ahead of Ronefalk as the light really is going. And they do need these floodlights, so Ronefalk now needs to catch up McBride, but does Ronefalk have enough fuel to get to the end, or is he going to need to splash? Is this a straight fight for 4th place between Carl McBride and David Ronefalk? McBride just took fuel. If Ronefalk needs his fuel, there's no chance with just 7 laps remaining. And if he needs to take fuel, he may as well take it now, because there's no point breaking your rhythm. He's trying to get close. So it's Ronefalk v McBride. It's the battle on the track, and it's a battle of 4th and 5th, which wouldn't mean much. It wasn't for the tumultuous time that Ronefalk's been having in this race. Ongara, I remind you, is winning. Canas is second. Battle is third. And this is McBride in 4th. McBride's lost 4th there. Mistake on McBride. So Ronefalk now picks up 4th place. But does he need fuel? Is the next unanswered. We need new tyres, the other question, because he hasn't managed to do 3 laps without changing tyres before. Ongara has a lead of exactly a lap in about 2 seconds. As Ronefalk has taken the place from McBride. So Ronefalk now has a few laps to go, and it's interesting, even though our cameras have been slightly adjusted, you can certainly tell that the light is going. It's a lovely dusk to it. Ongaro leading, 5 laps to go. Canas second, Battle 18 seconds behind, 6 seconds, but Ronefalk has a 1.9 second lead, but will he have to take fuel? Will this be the end of his attempt to get 4th and 5th? There they go. So Ronefalk very much looking. Oh, he's got Cole Ogden, his teammate, in front of him. There's laps between Ogden and Ronefalk, despite the problems that Ronefalk's had. And we are now down to 3 laps to go, because whilst Ronefalk has 5 laps to go, it won't count, because the 3 laps to go is what will happen with Ongaro. So we're down to 3 laps to go, 58 minutes, 36 seconds. So we are going to be somewhere in the region, I would think, of exactly an hour for 120 laps, which is very convenient, isn't it? I'm pretty, the other RCGP long races won't divide as easily. So Ronefalk steer into 4. So Ronefalk now is 4 seconds behind Battle, but he only has 2 laps to go. He's got 2 laps to go, because Battle is going around. Ronefalk almost looking for 3rd, which is quite remarkable performance, but it's going to have to get there. So now they start the last lap. Oh! Ongaro, please, to get our leader now. He's hopping up the end. He's up the top. Ongaro, orange tail. He's now hopping over the Infinity Leap. That is David Ongaro. Back one car. And that is Ongaro, who's just got a few corners to go. He flies over the double-double. He's going to take the Infinity Leap. And he's going to take the red. And Ongaro is going to take it. And he wins the second RCGP round. A great result for Ongaro. David Ongaro, fantastic performance.
Well, congratulations to Davide. Another win under his belt. And he's joined by 2 podium newcomers, Juan Carlos Canas in second and Robert Battier in third.
That was, again, pretty easy, wasn't it? Once David hit problems, you were able to just stroke it away and win by a lap.
Yeah, I saw David had a problem, but also Juan Carlos was really fast, so I just drive like to 29, like 0 from 0 to 5, and just stay calm and don't make mistakes. But
so let's look at how the drivers stack up overall. No surprises, Davide's on top, But despite his nightmare final, David Ronefalk is not a million miles behind with 31 points. And snapping at his heels, Juan Carlos Canas on 28 and fellow Spaniard Robert Battier just 1 point behind with 27. And for the overall standings, it's Team Scampi Rosso with 66, HB Racing with 54, followed by S-Works with 42 points. There's 6 rounds to go, so keep it locked to RCGP as the rest of the season unfolds. Hard to believe, I know, but perhaps a hotter, longer and sweatier day. Still full of excitement though, Scotty.
Absolutely. I think we were all expecting a thrill in Manila here, but man, oh man, it was an absolute clinic by Ongaro. Just checked out, gone, and winning both days, both rounds. It was amazing.
And I was waiting for someone to say that phrase, and thrill in Manila, it certainly was. Quite good tactics of the privateer team to hire David Ongaro.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Anyone available? Oh, yeah, F1. I have Lewis Hamilton. I have David Ongaro, the world champion. No, it's like, that's a difficult one. Yeah, of course, the other story is, of course, David Ronefalk, who had 7 tyres replaced during the course of the race. I had a chat with him afterwards. He's pulling his hair out because apparently he had tried a special and even more important way of sticking them on, and the glue just didn't work. He doesn't know why. It didn't have anyone else.
I was a bit worried because we went to interview him just as he was gluing his tyres for the final.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was thinking, did we distract him? Are we to blame?
Did he use bug spray by accident?
You might have used some suntan lotion, actually. Lot longer final, and it did kind of gap them, didn't it? It didn't keep that kind of hype that you get in a 30-lapper.
Absolutely, it changed it. We knew it would, that, you know, the long race would shake things out. Obviously, we didn't expect Ronefalk to have the problems he had. I think we all in agreement. He was probably the only one that was going to give Ongaro a run, or vice versa. But tip of the hat to the S-Works guys this weekend. Juan Carlos did great. At one time, for a good chunk of the race, they were second and third for a great part of the race. So good job by them.
A couple of legends not really setting the world alight. Bataille, Hara, just why aren't they fast?
Well, Bataille was okay. I mean, he put up 30. He put some solid points up, as he said in the press conference. And I think you'd go, I want to get out of this track. It wasn't for him, wasn't for the car, wasn't for the setup. So he's got the points. Hara, it just seems, I think, he's out of practice. He says he's a running touring car for the last year. And when you're up against the creme de la creme, who are absolutely on their game, doing this not every weekend, but mostly every day, you can't turn up unprepared.
It's true. And he does put himself through it, trying a different chassis for every big event. It's crazy what he does.
It is. It makes it tough for him. I mean, he's always a crowd favorite. When he's out here, you know, all the locals just cheering Hara on anywhere he is. You know, he's that kind of guy, just like Kinwald always was. You know, crowd favorite. But yeah, he's starting behind the 8 ball for sure. Not being prepared. And as Nick said, you know, you need to be absolutely on your game, practicing day in and week out. And unfortunately, Hara's sounded a little off this weekend.
Ongaro was fairly undisputed, the winner after 2 rounds. He's by far on top. Ronefalk, hard done by, but for him, good job. This is a series.
Well, yeah, I think there's a couple of the I think it's an interesting thing about the finals. There were a few guys who finally went, do you know what? I could push, and on this track it's a bit dangerous. I'll take my second. I'll take my third. I'll take my fourth because I've got other races to come and win again. So yes, that was in the mind. It wasn't a one-off event where go home and that's it. You've got 3 more events, 6 more rounds, and you're getting a nice base for the season.
Yeah, well, this is the base. The base is established. We established base camp in Manila in the Philippines, and next we move to Austria in Europe, surrounded by cornfields. Yes. You'll find out all about it in about a month's time, and we'll see you there for rounds 3 and 4. That's event 2. See you then.